Hello, everyone. Welcome to LFC Red Forever channel. Today we're going to be talking about, is the Premier League title over? What's next for Liverpool? And just anything about the Premiership. And we just add on some stuff on top of that as well. I haven't done a stream since I don't know. I think the game before. I think the West Ham game. So it's a bit strange for me to come back into this when Liverpool lost against Man City. I'm not happy about it. It's really frustrating when you see us lose to our rivals, and it's one of those things we have to cope with because, in my opinion, the Premier League title is over. I don't think there's no way back now, especially if they get their 10-point lead, which we're all expecting, aren't we? And I can't see Man United challenging them either. So it's just too many stuff happening at Liverpool at the moment, which is annoying everyone, and it's hard to watch as well. Um, Listen, these players have brought us the glory days back, and even more. So we shouldn't really argue about it. They're just in a bad form. They're just in a bad form and a bad rot. They're just struggling to get out of it. We could say a lot of things, a lot of frustrations we could share, but if if we look deep into it, it's a difficult things to bring out, especially with the injuries we got. It's not listen, it's not excuse. Let's just be honest here. It's not excuse, but it's hard for us to talk about anything else other than that. Uh, our backline ain't there no more. Backline now is our midfield. Thiago is not looking like a good player. Everybody's like saying he's not good enough. But it's kind of hard having a go at Thiago when the proper midfield he was supposed to play with aren't there at the moment. There's a lot of stuff happening, and people need to calm down and slow their roll. We're getting a Klopp out, and people saying he's not good enough anymore. Well, Man City saying that last season? I don't think so. I don't think Man City was saying that last season, and look how things turned out in their situation. They bought the right players, and eventually they got it right this season. That's what we need to do next season. Listen, we took risks. We took risks that was not going to pay off. I mean, we bought like not a lot of players to cover these players, and we expected to be challenging for titles. There's a lot of competitions at the end of the day. There's Champions League, there's FA Cup, there's obviously the League Cup as well. So there's too many things coming at once, and we need a big squad for that. And us not having a big squad for that is the issue that occurred. Like we haven't got big enough squad to challenge Manchester City. I can't say much about Manchester United because each time they had the chance to challenge, they they just failed. They failed all the time. They drew against Everton, and you know what happened next. The points just they just got 1 point, and Man City got 3 points. It's gonna keep happening like that. I can't see anyone else challenging Man City this season. I just don't want us to lose 9 games like Manchester City did it last season, and look bad like a bad champion, and make that gap bigger as we did last season. It's a bit difficult to continue talking about this season. It's a lot of stuff has happened. Pandemic is still going. People are depressed, and football ain't football no more. Let's just be honest here. VAR ain't helping no one, and it's just continuation. When the fans ain't there, football doesn't look right, does it? The football does not look right to me, and I don't enjoy football no more. People, I gotta be honest. It's not because we're not challenging. Listen, I've watched 30 years of Liverpool not challenging for a title, so nobody can ask me any questions other than that. Yeah, but it's just what we. I don't know. I honestly don't know what to make out of this season because it's terrible, isn't it? It's really terrible, and it's hard to watch. It's really hard to watch as well. If you're tuning in, please like, share, subscribe, and comment on the live chat, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. And we continue the conversation as we go along. Yeah, it's hard watching Liverpool people and Allison. My goodness me, what can I say about Allison in the last game? A lot of people are having a go at him. A lot of people are saying he's probably lost it, but you can't just blame the goalkeeper one game and expect him to be, the one of those keepers that's gonna be non-stop performing in a high level, be the best goalkeeper in the world on a continuous basis. It's never gonna happen. It takes time, and mistakes happens along the way. I know he's done 2 passes to the Man City players and he messed up. I know that. I know he did that, but he was ill. He wasn't well for a while. Maybe this is why he struggled in the game. He was just not feeling well at all. And especially when you got that back line in front of him, all the midfielders are playing there. What do you expect? What do you exactly expect? How's can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, I was just explaining about how it turned out, how terrible it was, and all that stuff. And the substitutions didn't help out either, did it? Like, what was he? What was the manager thinking? The manager didn't actually help our situation when we was playing the game. He just made it even worse instead of like making it right. But I said it's one of those seasons that's you expect anything bad to happen because it's the pandemic, in it, and it's not improving either. Let's see what Attica is saying. Attica, another defeat. Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands. Yeah, listen, it happens. That's football. That's football, Attica. We can't argue with that, mate. We can't argue with that. And it's continuation of the season, really. We play about 2 good games and then another 2 or 3 bad games after that. And even if it's at home, it's not. It doesn't have to be away. Even if it's at home, we're still struggling. So, Faisal, what did you make out of the actual game? Like, what did you think of it?
What I don't understand is why buy these defenders if we badly need defenders only to play like Henderson back in the same spot. We need Henderson or Fabinho in the middle of the park, in my opinion, because
Do
our
you, do
guys
you
don't
think
don't do what they do. You know?
everybody's saying like Thiago is a bad signing because he slows down our play? What do you think that? Do you think like he
Nah,
slows down our play?
nah. He obviously that we've never had a plan B, and he can be the plan B in a full squad. I reckon he would be dangerous, man.
Hmm.
But that's what I mean. The Henderson Fabinho thing I'm talking about is that we got none of them in the pitch against City. That would never
Yeah.
work.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. That's, to me, this season, like I said in like other streams, I said the worst thing about Liverpool is at the moment is the risks we took. We didn't sign players last season, and we didn't sign like in crucial areas this season, which is costing us the most. And I mean, like we the issues we have as well is we keep thinking that Van Dijk is not going to get injured, Matip is not going to injured. Gomez is not going to get injured. You don't take risks with Gomez and Matip at the back, you know what I mean, and
Mm.
expect us to do well in the games. It's already asking for problems, isn't it? It's already asking for problems when these players actually come on and get injured without even somebody touching them, if you know what I mean.
Mm. Matip and what's his name, Gomez.
Gomez.
They're not reliable, man. We've always needed, even before Van Dijk got injured, we've never had someone sit like with him, innit?
Yeah, it's annoying. It's annoying watching this, and especially the way we're supposed to defend the title as well. We need to do better. We can't cope with what we're like doing at the moment because it could end up that we might not even qualify for the Champions League final. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? What is that all about? Like, how can we accept that? Like, not even qualify for the Champions League, and you're asking for players like Mbappe and all them not to turn up. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen if we don't qualify for Champions League and expect the big players to actually say bye bye. We're not interested anymore. We're gonna go. That's what I'm expecting if we don't qualify for Champions League. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard. Do you think like if we don't qualify for Champions League, these top players will come to Liverpool?
Nah, no way, man. Champions League is the number one thing that attracts all these big players. Why do you think
Yeah,
teams like Arsenal struggle to buy big players? We're going to be
Mhm.
like them. Like, it just feels like last season. I don't know if
Mhm.
it's just me, but all these games we drew and like narrowly lost, we found a way. Whether it was luck or like because we didn't concede or whatever, with Van Dijk in the team. I
Yeah.
think this season, even without Van Dijk, these games we drew,
Yeah.
it made no difference. Like losing to Man City, if we lost all them games and draw them games, what were we second in all the draws in the whole league, innit?
I think so. Yeah. We just keep drawing. We lost about 5 now.
So
But
if you do the
the,
maths, even if we lost to City with like them games being a win,
yeah.
it would have been a much better situation than it is now. That's why I believe the City game wasn't even like it was big if we was in it, but we weren't really in it. I mean, made it so what's it 3 point different? Like it was still would have been 7 points and the game at hand 10 points. Though, wasn't it really?
Yeah. It's hard to watch Liverpool. I swear to God, it's hard to watch Liverpool. I don't.
Feels like the
You know,
old Liverpool, isn't it?
yeah, it's like, have you noticed? It's as soon as we will go a goal down, we can't recover. It's back to those days. Like you got a goal down, we can't recover, and it's continuation of the same thing. It's
Like
hard.
we're forcing
Honestly,
it.
it's hard to watch it. Yeah. But the thing is, Faisal, what do you want Klopp to do? What can Klopp do? Can he improve anything, or do you just let this season go, try to win the Champions League, and see what we do
I
after that?
think the thing you said about the subs. What's that saying? If it's not broke, don't fix it. Like them games against City, West Ham, and who was it? Who beat Tottenham? Sorry, Tottenham and
Tottenham,
West
yeah,
Ham.
Tottenham away, yeah.
Them two teams we put out was probably
Yeah.
the best games I've seen in a long time. Why change anything? Just keep it like that if you can. All right, if you get
Yeah.
injured, change that. Keep that
Yeah.
same tactic
Yeah.
and go with that, innit? And then if you have to change something, change it after, innit?
I honest to God, I didn't understand that substitution. I had no idea. Welcome to the channel, Attica.
Hey guys, you
Yeah,
okay?
all good, man. Yeah, I had no idea what the manager was doing there. I think he didn't. It's one of those things like everybody said he wanted to go for a draw. That's why we was the way we was in the game. He wanted to go for a draw. That's why he brought on Milner. Milner ain't gonna change no game. I mean, look at the West Ham game. He came off. We scored like 3 goals after that.
Milner
hard,
steadies the ship. He steadies the ship, doesn't he? He steadies the ship. If you're in a winning position, he'll do all the donkey work and he'll do everything you need him to do.
Yeah,
But he's not necessarily going to come and change the whole game. And look, let's face it. On the day, City were far superior. That has to be said. And I think they haven't been annihilating any teams this season, but they've been outplaying all the teams, and they've been consistently the best in the last 15 games.
Yeah.
The last 15 games.
Can I ask you a question, Attica and Fazul? Do you guys think this City team is as good as the teams before that? Like with Sanes, Yaya Torres, with David Silva, with Fernandinho playing irregular, Aguero playing irregular. Is this team as good? Can you even name any world-class players in this team other than De Bruyne? That's what I'm trying to say. Like we beat better teams than this City team with worse team that Liverpool had in the past. That's what I just don't understand how they played us at home like that. That's what I don't get. But do you guys think they're better than the old teams, Fazul?
I think what Keane said is literally happening in front of our eyes about the winning the league and then like thinking like everything's going to come to you, innit? They think every team that comes to us are scared of us now, innit? Even with like, no injuries, same squad or whatever, I just personally think Liverpool won the league and these players think they're a bit too arrogant for no reason. It's good to be arrogant, but the way they're going on, like everything's the whole game is like last season, the way we played football, everything was fast. Firmino would get the ball first, like it will make people do mistakes. I ain't seen that the whole season.
Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of Liverpool, what I'll say is, if you go back to the great teams, like go back to the Fergie team of Manchester United, every year what he did was think, hold on, even if we won the league, how can we get a better team? How can we improve? Apart from Diego Jota, and even then, I don't think Salah, Mane, and Firmino would say, we're worried about Diego Jota taking our place.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, I think Jota's a brilliant player, and injury hasn't helped. But would any of those front three say, actually, this guy's here to take my place? No. I don't think any of them. He signed another fantastic player in Thiago, but was he improving what Fabinho, Henderson, and Ronaldo were giving? Don't get me wrong, he's a brilliant player.
Mm-hmm.
And even the defenders are signed. None of those players were there to take over anyone that was in the team from last season. None of them. So,
100% agreed. 100% agreed.
What Manchester United would do every year, Manchester United would sign someone else, and they, if you go back to early 2000s, people say, "Oh, actually, Manchester United are waning." Then they'd sign Rio Ferdinand, or they sign Jaap Stam, or they sign Van Nistelrooy, or sign Van Persie, and everyone think, "Hold on, you don't need these guys." No, that's not the point. You actually sign those guys to firstly improve the team, but then improve the players you got already. And even if you're champions, someone's going to try and overtake you, and that's what you got to realize is someone's there to actually make that team better. Have Liverpool done that? I don't think so.
Did you see like the thing where how the squad's not literally only 2 players have changed since we was in the Champions League final that we lost against Madrid? Literally, we've only changed 2 players from our starting 11. So this is going to be happening for a time. So forget the pandemic year. Like what you said is right. We should have fixed these problems ages ago.
It definitely seems like those players now have got comfortable. They're comfortable thinking, we're champions and we've won the Champions League. Of course, that's brilliant. For the fans, those memories will last forever, of course. But do you just want to now just stagnate and just say we're just happy with what we've done?
So basically, what you guys are saying, like they're not hungry enough anymore. The hunger has disappeared because there's no competition in the team. There's no one at the back pushing them forward just to say, "Oh, I got to keep my place. I don't want to lose my place." And I mean, in case if I do something wrong, this player behind me is going to take over, and then I'll probably be sitting on the bench for the majority of the season. Maybe this is what we're all thinking. And listen, it's the risk you take in football. If you take a risk, these things happen. This is what Liverpool have done. They took a risk. The owners didn't want to buy. I think the season before last, they didn't buy. So before this one, we didn't buy anyone apart from Minamino in January. So you didn't buy covers for the centre back. You didn't buy a goalkeeper. You didn't buy a central midfielder. You didn't buy a striker. You didn't buy a winger. So basically, they went with the same attitude in another season, and they expect it to be the same. Everything catches up with you. I think we've been watching football for years, us two, and for us as well. Everything eventually catches up with you, and that's what's happened to us. We took so much risks, and now we're paying for the consequences, and we can't even get out of it. We're losing at home, people. We haven't lost at home for about 4 seasons. We're losing on a regular. We lost 3 at home already.
The worst team started it off for us, man. Burnley.
I mean, Burnley, Brighton, and Man City now. It's embarrassing, honest to God.
No, but it's interesting you say all that because going back to Man City and you're comparing the team now to Toure and David Silva and all the fantastically exciting players they had. They're nowhere near as exciting. But this is where Guardiola has kind of like revamped himself and he's thought, can we beat Liverpool for sheer entertainment and go toe to toe? Probably not anymore. But what he's going to do is completely revamp the team and go for a kind of different mode of team now. Even if a lot of the players are the same, they're not as exciting. But look what he's done now. They're not letting any goals in.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard to score against them now.
It's coming back to what you just said about us not replacing players or like buying. What City, if you think about it, every season they've improved every position, right? We ain't done that. That pays off. That's what's paying off right now for them. Like.
It depends on the owners you got, innit? It depends on the owners you got.
We fixed they've got the money. Stopped. We just fixed the goalkeeper and Van Dijk, and then it felt like the owners felt, oh, you know what, this is a good squad now. We don't need no one.
City have got unlimited funds, and that's what I always say. They've got unlimited funds.
We've got money. If you think about it, I think we have actually got a lot of money. If you could
but Liverpool more
last 3 seasons together, all that finance we made from 2 Champions League and winning the league, you tell them we ain't got money. But
Liverpool are more sensible with their money though. Liverpool more sensible. Man City will say, "Oh, it doesn't matter if there's a pandemic. It doesn't matter if there's recession. No, we can spend £60 million on a new central defender." And they've used that. Yeah, and Diaz for me is one of the signings of the season now.
Wow,
because he's their Van Dijk, isn't
it? He's gone under the radar, but he's improved that team. Look at John Stones now. John Stones, who couldn't even play before, couldn't defend before,
Yeah,
has turned into
he's their Van Dijk. He's doing what Van Dijk done to
exactly. Van Dijk made all the players around him better.
So much so, Laporte's not even playing anymore. You know what I mean? That's how good the guy
exactly.
is.
No, Diaz is fantastic. Yeah, Diaz is fantastic. He is and he's only 24, 25. So same with Van Dijk. Van Dijk's not necessarily that old either, but both those guys got a few years left in them. Liverpool, look, they can point to the fact that Van Dijk got injured at the worst possible time, and it clearly hasn't helped. I don't think anyone.
Listen, like I said, it's always going to happen. These things are regular occurrences. You know what I mean? Like I said earlier, like if you take a risk, it will always come and haunt you at the end. That's what's happened to us. Roy Keane said we are bad champions. What do you guys think about that? I'll come back. Yeah, discuss it. I'll come back in a second. What do you guys think about that when he said like we're bad?
What? Why does he run off to?
Yeah.
Oh, he's coming back. He said he's coming back.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What do you think about it, Roy? I think he's entitled to his opinion, isn't he? He's entitled to his opinion. It's not like.
I mean, you notice how bitter Man U ex-players and fans are to Liverpool. They're loving what happened to us right now. They're loving it. Yeah. So
why should
it's funny. We do
Rob?
Carragher does the same thing to Man U fans as well, isn't it?
Fuzzy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Rob, we was discussing what do you think about Roy Keane calling us bad champions?
He's living in the past, though, isn't he? He's thinking of his time under Fergie. You know, he's just thinking about their dominance rather than how tough the league is right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
go on.
He never says anything positive anyway about Liverpool, so it doesn't bother me.
Go on, Atika.
I was going to say, I think a lot of it comes down to. I'm not saying Klopp's been making excuses, but some of the things he's been saying do, sound like excuses, and it almost seems like, to an extent, it's almost like being a bad loser. And Fergie, don't get me wrong, Fergie and Arsene Wenger were two of the worst sore losers there were. So we have to say all of them.
Rob, that's for you, Rob. Rob is asking you a question, yeah.
Not in the kitchen today, Rob. Not in the kitchen.
Not in the kitchen, yeah.
No, I've eaten. I was good this time.
That was funny last time, man. But at least it improved, did it? Yeah, go on, I think. Carry on, man.
No, Roy Keane, at the end of the day, you know how he is. He's going to say things to wind people up. Yeah. But he's entitled to his opinion. He's won, 8 Premier Leagues, whatever it is. And he's played for champions consistently. And I think what he's trying to say is, if Liverpool, you do it once, don't just complain next season. Go and do it again. Don't do it. And you're going to get injuries. Everyone's got, everyone's going to have 100%. Injuries. And City have had injuries. City haven't had Aguero for the whole season, practically the whole season. So they don't even play with a striker. They're not making excuses. They just get on with it. They're playing with like Foden down the middle. And he's an inexperienced player. They haven't really made excuses about their injuries. So I think from that perspective, I think it's Liverpool have made, and I'm saying on this group, but Liverpool fans as well have made a huge point about the centre backs not being there. But the chance was there to invest. Even in January, the chance was there to sign another top quality centre back, but they seem to have signed backup players rather than signing a guy who's there to challenge Van Dijk or Gomez. They signed guys that probably not going to be first team players.
Yeah, but that's what I've been saying, mate. It's difficult to watch us at the moment, if you take the risk, as I said in the beginning, this is what you're gonna suffer. We took too much risk, and it's happening. It's costing us the actual league, and it's so bad. I'm worried in case we don't even qualify for the top 4. What do you think, Fazul? Can we get it with this team that we got at the moment?
I'm not worried about top 4, man. All I'm kind of angry about is obviously we're not winning a league, man. But I just personally think he's gonna get it right, man. Like this guy, from what he's had to what he's got now. We talk about signings, but if you think about it, he got rid of most of dead weight. There's still a few left to go. I reckon, he's got a plan. Which he has to have a plan B, and which we ain't had for a long time. But I reckon he's got a plan. These defenders we signed, we didn't sign them for no reason. He'll probably get slowly back getting the team. Mm-hmm. But obviously, we need him right now. We can't do like a Robertson and wait for like a whole season to bring him in.
What do you guys think about the two new signings haven't been like starting yet? Like one of them at least start instead of like. Why not play Phillips and one of the other guys and push the midfield back to their normal positions, Rob? What do you think about that? Like play Davis or Kabak with Phillips and then just push the other ones forward more?
Yeah, well, we've got nothing to lose, have we? Got nothing to lose now. Yeah, I mean, we bought them for a reason, so we might as well utilize them. We've got nothing to lose now. Let's get some momentum. But I think we're just in the same position that City were in last season because they struggled when Laporte got injured, didn't they? And they still had some centre backs. I mean, Stones wasn't as consistent as he is this season, but I mean, they struggled and they sorted that out. But we've still got those world-class defenders to come back. That's the thing. So I'm not worried long term. It's just we need to get this problem sorted now. And our two best midfielders, Fabinho and Henderson, we need them in midfield. You know, just for that protection for the back four.
Welcome to the channel, Hacks. We're just speaking about what's next for Liverpool defensive-wise and moving forward. That's what we're concentrating on. What do you think, Hacks? Like, what do you think? Like, we should do next? I know we can't compete for the the Premier League anymore. Can we compete for the Champions League? Anything else?
We need to fight for the top four. That's the only thing we can fight for, isn't it? Really, and the Champions League.
Yeah. What do you think?
Personally, I think they should bring Kabak and Ben Davis. Not Ben Davis, sorry. The two centre backs.
Ben Davis. Ben Davis.
Yeah. So I think we should push Fabinho and Henderson back into midfield. I think that's what we're lacking in the middle of the park. Do you
guys think? Go on.
I think you should take Tottenham's Ben Davis as well. Get rid of him and then play both Ben Davis. Take him out. Take it. He's been appalling. Anyway, carry on.
Commentator will have a field day for that, man.
Ben Davis to Ben Davis.
Ben Davis.
Championship wanderer. It is bad, isn't it, for a champions to bring in players like that? I mean, he could prove me wrong, but I just think, there's got to be better defenders than that for backup.
He genuinely is a championship quality defender. Honestly, if you've seen him play, don't get me wrong, he's a decent player in the championship, but that's what he is. And he's definitely a backup. Kabak I haven't seen as much of, and he might be amazing, might be another Van Dijk, but I doubt that as well. I don't think he's signed those players.
Do you think it's easier to teach someone how to play like your way of football, and if they're a good defender before that, it's better than the other way around? You feel what I mean? Like, for example, if someone's not a good defender, it's hard to teach him to be a good defender. But to teach him how to play that one-touch football and all that stuff we do, I reckon that's a bonus. Like, if he's a good defender, he'll learn how we play it quicker.
Go carry on, man.
No, I think even Van Dijk was brilliant before at Southampton, but he improved a lot at Liverpool. I think it's the way they play, the way Klopp plays. That is suited Van Dijk absolutely down to the ground. He was good at Celtic and he was good at Southampton, but he was not I don't think he was the defender that he turned into at Liverpool. He's been absolutely sensational. So in that sense, you're right.
It's like Scott is saying, we've had too many injuries at one time, and the owners probably now Klopp can win with this group of players. Thiago and Jota was the icing on problem. Was everyone else starting picking up injuries? I agree with Scott. If I can make sense of that, I agree with Scott what he's saying. I think there's a lot of cover up going on at Liverpool instead of like concentrating on winning the league. I don't think we needed like many midfielders. If you're not going to get rid of the midfielders we got, what's the point adding on top of that? If you know what I mean, guys. We add too many in the midfield. Obviously, Thiago isn't looking as good as he should be, but Thiago was expecting to play with Fabinho as a sitting midfielder, and then you've got the other guys around him, so he could create his chances. You got Henderson probably closing down, Fabinho cutting out the passes, and then you got him creating. So you got three different midfielders. I think this is what Thiago was brought in for. Now he's playing as a defensive midfielder. He's playing as a right midfielder. He's playing as a left midfielder. He's all over the place, and everybody's calling him a bad player. But as a player, what do you guys think the guy brings? Like Faisal, what do you think he brings?
You're exactly right. From what I've seen, what he used to do for Bayern and that, like the proof's right there. Amount of fouls he gives away, all the yellow cards. Like he looks aggressive. He can't tackle. Like that's not his game.
Yeah. Attica, like, do you think do you consider him as a world-class player? Do you before he came to Liverpool, what did you think of Thiago?
You have to say he's world-class. He just hasn't fitted into the system that Liverpool had. And you're probably right. They probably expected Fabinho and Henderson to be there. Maybe he was a replacement for Wijnaldum, who's almost certainly going to be leaving this summer.
Yeah.
But again, he's not the same type of player as Wijnaldum. I think Wijnaldum's been sensational for Liverpool for the last couple of years. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. So I think, for Klopp, he was probably a replacement for Wijnaldum. And they signed him as soon as they could. Because someone like Thiago's not going to be hanging around forever. But, he's won the last 10 seasons, I think he's won nine league championships. I know he's played for Bayern Munich and Barcelona. But that probably says a lot anyway, in terms of his quality.
Hacks, what do you think of him, mate? Like, were you happy that we actually bought him? Were you happy we got him?
He's quality. Think about it. There were so many major clubs that were after him, and he chose us, obviously, because we were the champions. And plus, he probably wants to play under Klopp as well, and he knows there's going to be a new challenge. All that, like some of our players are getting old, innit? So there's going to be replacements coming through soon, innit? That's what I think about the centre backs. I think he's going to make them into superstars.
Yeah.
Because he does that. They're kind of Klopp kind of signings, if you know what I'm saying. He buys all these, like, come on, Wijnaldum was playing in the Championship. And the following season, he's playing in Champions League.
Yeah, he got relegated with Newcastle, didn't he? That season, as I remember.
Look, same thing with Robertson as well. Like, he was playing at Hull City in the Championship.
He got relegated,
the Champions League winners.
So, Rob, what do you think of Thiago? Is he like one of those players we needed in the summer?
He's absolute class. Whoever slates him, they should, just have a word with themselves. I mean, it's hard to come into a champion squad. Yeah. He's got the class. He's won multiple trophies. He doesn't have to prove that, but it's going to take him, because jumping from the Bundesliga to the Premier League, it's going to take time. I mean, we can see how good he is on the ball, like just spraying it around. He just, he's got that passing quality of like a Paul Scholes. He's just effortless on the ball. But I mean, we all know Paul Scholes couldn't tackle, and he's got that in him a bit. He's sort of like, running back and trying to do a bit too much. But I think eventually, once we get those sort of players like Fabinho, Henderson back into midfield, we get our shape back. I think he's going to complement our team, definitely.
Yeah, like Scott said here, like if other clubs had the same injuries we had, would they cope with it? And then I was thinking about last season, Man City. They lost one player, I think it was Laporte, and then everything broke apart. They lost about 9 games, didn't they, last season? As I remember, they didn't lose like five games or anything. They lost about 9 games. Do you, Attica, like in your point of view from like the Tottenham fan, do you think if any other club lost that players that we have, they would have coped? Just having the midfield playing at the back and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean City ended up with Fernandinho at the back, haven't they? And they've ended up with Fernandinho playing there for the last 2 years, and he's been a key midfielder for them. So they lost that in midfield. It's similar thing to what Liverpool's having now. But Man City lost that Fernandinho, not having him in midfield, and that's why they probably struggled, definitely last season. Look, Liverpool, especially in defence, have had a lot of injuries.
That's what the thing I'm trying to say, Attica. Is it excuse? Do you take it as when Liverpool fans are saying that? Is it excuse or it's just reality? Like we can't.
This goes back to Roy Keane's point. This goes back to, rather than making a point of it, get on with what you've got. And I think, obviously Roy Keane coming from a Man United perspective, you can understand that, and I find it quite funny because I think Roy Keane's hilarious. But Liverpool fans probably won't find it so funny, and Liverpool fans will keep going back to it. But rather than complaining about it now, wait till the end of the season and then get on with it. Get on with what you've got at the moment, because Liverpool are still a fantastic team, still a fantastic team there.
Do you think like Van Dijk is on the actual Champions League team at the moment as well? Hopefully, probably will get back. I think they're going to rush him too soon, in my opinion. They shouldn't take the risk. Just leave him for this season. I say, try to play these new defenders. But how about Fazal? How about if they rush Van Dijk back and he pulls up again, which is more likely will happen, as we all seen these injuries before. Attica, you experienced that at Tottenham loads of times. Like you still experience it now with Kane. So if he comes back, Fazal, and do you think like he will be performing in the same level before, or is he going to start pulling up like other defenders do normally? This is Van Dijk I'm talking about.
Yeah, the history of that, it's not a good thing, is it, man? It's the worst thing you could do, rush a player back. But I don't think we need to do that because, like Attica was saying about Fernandinho playing in the centre back, Fabinho's been the centre back for us for the last couple of years as well.
Yeah.
So we don't need to replace him. I think he's fine there. We just need to, like you said, the new signings. Wait till Van Dijk gets back and just put these guys in and see how it goes. Innit? We can't just keep playing two centre midfielders in defence. That makes no sense.
Go again next season as well.
So Hacks, what do you think? What do you think, Hacks? Like,
do you know what it is? Yeah.
Shall we rush him back or not?
No, you know what, Van Dijk. Yeah, the thing with him, I don't think Liverpool. You know the current Liverpool like management. Yeah, I don't think they rush players back. I don't think it's in them to rush players back. They want to take precautions first because he's a big dollar signing, innit? That's the thing with Van Dijk, innit? He's massive, and I don't know if he's gonna come back the same or not. You just don't know with these kind of injuries because they're big injuries. These ACLs, man, they're really bad. Like Joey Gomez, he's had it twice now, innit?
Yeah, Gomez gets injured now without anyone touching him. You know what I mean? So we relied on two defenders, Matip and Gomez. Nobody's touching them to get injured. You know what I mean? It's hard to watch, man.
That's what I'm saying. But that's why I think our two new centre backs, Klopp, I think he's going to train them into. Because you know what? I've been watching a few of their, like Scout Nation videos. Yeah, they've got potential in them. It's the right management can make them like proper superstars. That's what I think. Personally.
And they've got the best manager in the world for that as well.
That's exactly my point. That's what I'm saying. It's like I think Klopp can make them into superstars.
Yeah. Rob, do you think the same thing? Like, should we rush Van Dijk back because he's in the Champions League squad now?
That's the worst thing we could do, mate. I reckon just wrap him in cotton wool, get him fit, get him back to his best, touch wood, and then go for it next season. I mean, I called it when we started playing Henderson and Fabinho sort of centre back. I just thought, this is going to be City's. They were picking up momentum. So, what's the point in bringing them back? Let's just concentrate on next season. Like, try and get top 4, see what we could do in the Champions League, like we were discussing earlier. And just next season, just give it a good push. And then we're going to have Jota back as well, which is going to be class for us.
How about if by some miracle we reach like Champions League quarter-final, semi-final, and Van Dijk?
It's possible, though, isn't it? It is possible.
Would you risk him then if he like comes back and we're in the like semi-finals of the Champions League or fighting for top 4 and like 1 point difference?
Only Klopp and his staff knows that. I mean, it'd be lush to have him back, but you don't want him to pull up again. You want this to be not rushed, and you want this to be healed and him to be the same player. I'd rather him come back same standard next season rather than come back, get injured again, miss part of next season, and then it just throw everything out again. So
like a new signing if you leave him and come back fresh.
Yeah.
Getting past Leipzig won't be easy either. Anyway. Getting past Leipzig with the team we put, they're a pretty useful team. The fact, I know it was only United, but they didn't knock United out.
Yeah, it's pretty tough to watch in that. Well, it's the best thing to watch that actually. What am I saying? Pretty tough. I love them when they knock Man United out. I don't know what I'm saying there. I got confused there. But listen, guys, like Scott is saying over here, what do we do? Like, do we decide when everybody's fit and then the team is in full strength for us to just decide what this players are all about, or do we need to sign players in the summer to strengthen the team even more? Because we still got a lot of players out, eight players, I think, 8 or 9 players out. So
we've got 6, 7 first teamers out. I mean,
So what do we do? Do we splash the cash in the summer, or do we just wait for these players to be fit and then we decide? Don't forget, like he said, 2-3 years we don't turn out, but like we don't turn bad overnight. Like with 2-3 years non-stop football, playing at a high level as well, like competing for Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, World Club as well. And these teams, listen, these players sooner or later they were gonna be breaking down, and this is the time it's happened. If you don't sign anyone. But do you guys think like we need like a lot of players, like 3 to 4 players in the summer for us to compete with Man City next season?
We need a squad. We don't need as many
depth.
players people everyone's talking about. But we've got Deadwood in the bench, and I don't rely on
Origi. Get rid of Origi. Origi's not good enough.
I think even Shaqiri.
What do you think of Oxlade as well? About Oxlade?
Yeah, Ox can go as well, man.
Yeah, Ox can go because he gets injured every season, man.
And what does he do when he's on a pitch? Out of 10 games,
doesn't
play
really
one
do
good game.
The only good thing I can remember him is about that goal that he scored against Man City in the Champions League.
That's it.
I like that.
What I can say about him.
Golf says, let's not put Thiago in the same breath as Scholes, not even close.
He's won a lot of titles. He's done a lot, but yeah, I mean, he's that sort of player, you know, like he's more of a passer, more attacking, but he just can't defend.
But I feel sorry for him. Honestly, I feel sorry for him because, like I said in the beginning,
you know what? We're missing Henderson. Henderson shouldn't play centre back. You know what?
No,
there's been a lot of stick on Trent, and there's been a lot of stick on Robertson as well because he covers them a lot. Henderson actually covers them a lot in midfield, and because of Henderson, we slack a lot. I'm telling you, being in centre back, it's not worth it.
He's our anchor.
But what do you guys think of Trent now? He's struggling defensive-wise. The way Sterling just dominated him in the other game, the other day, the 4-1, it was just total embarrassment. I thought, in my opinion, like he was just flicking legs about and all that. Do you think like he should practice more on defending rather than attacking now? Because there's a lot of people that attack his side because Salah doesn't defend on his side. So what does he need to do? I mean, like you said, if Henderson plays there, it's more secure. But Henderson ain't going to be there all the time.
That's why. That's what I'm saying. Henderson was there to back him up all the time. He was
there
always there to
cover.
They highlighted this on Match of the Day as well.
I reckon the future about him being a midfielder, that's a good shout. But like you said, man, if it's not broke, don't fix it. And like Henderson comes back, it will come back to his best in that.
Yeah, I mean, Henderson was one of those guys that whenever the fullbacks pushed up, he was always covering whichever side he needed to. And Trent could push on. Now, what's happening is Trent knows that he can't necessarily push on consistently all the time. And then that means he's defending more, and then he's getting caught out more now. Where previous couple of seasons, he's been attacking like more than half the game. So you don't necessarily see his weakness in defense.
He's in limbo at the moment, because of
exactly.
Henderson. That's what it is.
A lot of it. So a lot of the issues you're saying are revolving around Liverpool not having that solidity in midfield, really, giving that defensive cover. You know,
Go on, Rob.
Yeah.
Go on, Rob.
Thiago's trying to mop it up and do Henderson's job, but he can't. That's the thing, and it's making us weak. Where we've got those gaps,
and then it's making Thiago get criticised.
Exactly.
Don't you guys find it amazing though? Like for like the last few years, people were criticizing that three in the middle, like Henderson, Wijnaldum, and Fabinho. They're saying they're not world class. They don't create enough. As soon as that midfield disappears, look what happened. Look at the results.
Yeah. They were the cog in the machine. That's the thing. They made it work. Like look at the Makalelis of the past. I mean, they were criticized for being boring, but it's exactly those sort of players were class. You know, they just did the job. They did the ugly stuff. They just had so much energy. They were the anchor of the team. The thing I'm
trying to say, Rob, if you look at the beginning of the season when we was top of the league, they were playing in the middle, weren't they? We had Gomez and I don't know, maybe Fabinho at the back or something at times. But they were playing like in the middle. Henderson's this world, Wijnaldum, Keita, and then we were like swapping them around, and it looked proper solid. As soon as that disappeared and we put them in the back line, the team just became different. We just can't. We can't even score a goal at home. We haven't scored a goal at home since 27th December before Salah scored a goal. That's how far we go back scoring at home, guys. You know what I mean? Which is embarrassing. But like I said,
you know what? They said something on Sky. They said that you know, the last time Liverpool lost 3 at home, they won the league.
No, mate, we ain't coming back on this one, man.
Was that in the 60s? That was in the 60s, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was in the 60s. Yeah, they were saying he was in the 60s. But
that's mad, isn't it?
Guys, quick question. I'm a bit controversial, yeah, but am I the only fan, minus the injuries, of Keita?
I like him. He's a box-to-box player, but yeah, because of his injuries, that lets him down. But he's class. When he's got his match fitness, he's box-to-box. He's got energy. He's good going forward. He gets stuck in. I like him.
I don't remember us losing many games with him in the team. Like that's the games we've won, like 4-5 nils and stuff like that.
Yeah, but the problem is, like, when he doesn't play, the midfield is too similar. That's why we're struggling in certain games, if you know what I mean. He's dynamic. He's different. He runs with the ball, and he closes down defenders as well at the same time. That's what we miss in the middle. I don't know if you guys noticed. When was the last time we even done the closing down thing we usually do, like the old closing down, stopping players, like passing the ball and all that. If you look at City the other day, they were passing around us like we wasn't even there. Even when we cornered them in the corner flag, they still find a way out. You know what I mean? What is this all about? Like, what kind of midfield have we got if they're doing that? In the old days, they would have took their match straight away.
It starts from the front, though, doesn't it? It starts from the front. If a team's passing the ball out from the back, the front three have to start that whole process, and then the whole team can shift. But if the front three are just lazy, then no one can do it. It's either every single player does it, or you can't do it at all. That's what happens.
Salah's the one who doesn't do it from the front.
Yeah, even if one player doesn't do it, then it leaves a space for someone else to pass their way out. So every single player has to be on the completely same wavelength. And it looks to me like the front three are the guys that they're not challenged for their place, especially since Jota's been injured. They're not challenged for their place.
No, they're like, we won the league. Why are we running around chasing balls?
But each of them,
2 games,
they have to be challenged for their place. Each of those players has to think, hold on, we might not play the next game. But I think even when Salah's dropped or Firmino's dropped, I think they're thinking, hold on, we're still the first choice.
Yeah, that's what I liked about Jota when he came in. He was like, hang on, boys, this is how you do it. He gave him a kick up the backside, and they thought, hang on, who's this? And then even Salah, you saw it on his face. He didn't like it when he started scoring. But it was like, he just got...
There's a few games, There's a few games he didn't pass them, like, this as well.
Salah doesn't pass to anyone, does he? He doesn't even
He's being greedy.
You see the look on Mane's face sometimes when Salah. Don't get me wrong, Salah does produce the goods a lot of the time. But you see a lot of the time when he could easily, if he played it early, he could find the through ball, or you take another touch and he's going to shoot on his left foot, or he's going to try and curl it into the top corner.
There's going to be a time where Mane is just not going to run nowhere near him.
Nah.
Mane hasn't been the same for a long time. This guys, this is what I said on Twitter as well. Like I said, this season Manchester City have come through. Pep has stepped up to the challenge. What are we gonna do next season? Sorry about that, Tottenham fan. I think I'll just mention Liverpool. I'll mention Tottenham in a minute.
See you later, Ron. Bye.
What do you guys think we're gonna do next season? So, like I said, Pep has stepped up. His team has stepped up. We're obviously still the second best team. Even Man United are second. Who cares? But what's our next step next season? What are we gonna do next season, like to challenge City? Because is Klopp gonna say, "I've had enough, I'm walking away," or is he gonna step up and get the things he done wrong this season, get them right next season, like Pep did this season, basically?
He won't walk away. It's not in his nature. He wants the fans back, and I don't think that's too far away, because you look at the tennis going on at the moment. They've adapted to it. They've got the crowds back. So I only think it's a matter of time. And he lives for the fans. He wants to give him that trophy again. I think he'll stay around, and we'll go again. We've got the squad. We've got it there. We just need our 5-6 first teamers back, and then we've got that quality back.
Faisal, what do you think?
Like exactly what you said about the fans. Did you notice when we had 2,000 fans, we didn't lose none of them games. We won both, right?
No.
2 games.
They wouldn't let us. Would they?
Well, we had like 1 or 2 games with 2,000 fans, didn't we?
Yeah. We haven't lost those games. We only lost when they had no fans.
That's what I'm saying. Them kind of games, we probably would have drawn a loss without them fans. But it's just a little kick like that. But I think personally, we have to go back to the strategy we had before when City was on top and then we was chasing them. So whatever they do, if they're investing, we invest, or if they're doing different tactics, we like kind of adapt to another way of playing or something. Innit? It feels like the old Liverpool.
Local pub team, okay.
No. Carry on, Fazal, carry on.
Oh yeah, the message, isn't it?
Yeah, we're just reading that. Come on, guys, let's get real at the moment. Your ambition towards this season was shown when you bought 2 players from a local pub team, the squad is not good enough. Yeah, listen, we don't know until everybody's fit how good we are. That's all. There's a lot of players missing. It's not like 1 or 2. There's about 8 or 9 players missing. And then, like Scott said in the beginning, once we get those players back, then we could decide how the season is going to turn out. Yeah, Hacks, go ahead, mate. What do you think? Is Klopp up for the challenge next season? Pep has shown, Pep has signed 2-year contract, and he said, "I'm here. I'm not." Because if Pep, listen to these guys, if Pep, like, he stays in doesn't he stay 3 years in a club, then he goes to the next project. That's what he normally does, doesn't he? Yeah. But for what we done to them last season, the way we dominated the league, he decided to sign a 2-year contract and stay on and rebuild. A lot of people saying he doesn't rebuild. That's what he's doing at the moment. He has actually rebuilt. So now what is Klopp going to do, Hex? Is he going to say enough is enough? Or is he going to rebuild and go for it next season as well?
I personally don't think Klopp will walk away. He wouldn't sign a 5-year contract and just walk away from it. I'm pretty sure he'll stay. But I think, you know what is, when we do get our key players back, it'll be different. And like we said before, we need to get rid of the dead weight, like Origi, Shaqiri, these guys. We need to get rid of them. We need to replace them with like good players that can like turn up. If you know what I mean. You know, like Man United before, they used to have, like, you know, Hernandez. Yeah, he used to just come up and score a goal. All of a sudden,
Solskjaer as well, their current manager as well. Yeah, the current manager.
Even Olegana, like in the last minute, he done that against Bayern in the Champions League. We need people like that can score and got confidence.
Attica, so what do you think next season, mate? Do you think Liverpool will be up for the challenge? I know, like, you're hoping Tottenham will do something, but what do you think about Liverpool so far? Can we come back if we get everyone back?
Before we get on to Tottenham, I'm still in shock that you said Liverpool are the second best team in the league. Did you say that?
Listen, if everybody's fit, I think we are the best. Maybe the best. If everybody is fit, I'm saying. Not now, obviously. I'm saying
need to prove it. Champions need to prove it.
To be fair, as you said, one thing is the crowd. The crowd are a huge influence, especially for a team like Liverpool. I think Old Trafford, Anfield, they're probably 2 of the most intimidating stadiums when fans are there. You know, the opposition teams rarely get anything. You know, and I can say as a neutral, and I'll say that you see so many decisions go for the home team at Anfield and Old Trafford. You know, you guys might not see it that way. You might say just as Old Trafford, but that is definitely.
United get more favours done for
that. Oh, there you go. See,
it's true. The penalties they get is embarrassing.
Fergie time.
United, Bruno Fernandes. I mean, ridiculous. He'll go down. You know, if someone could drop a feather on him and he'll fall down like
Fernandes.
And I think the fact that a few more managers have made a point of it now, you know, other referees have picked up on it. Finally. But even look at Salah's decision against City. I mean, that was soft. He went down. It was a foul. He could have easily stayed up.
Listen, what they say, if you get contact, innit? That's what they say. If you get contact,
you have to go down.
You got to do. You have to go down. That's what they say.
And they won't give a penalty if you stay up and you force your way and then you get tackled. Referees probably won't give it. So I understand why you went down, but it was soft.
You just need acting coaches to dive down.
You say too much. Yeah, I mean, you say City have reinvented themselves. You know, I'll go back to them. Yeah, they've been fantastic, and they're not as entertaining as they were 2 years ago, or even last season. And I think Guardiola. This is where Guardiola has just been brilliant. It's just we're going to be a different type of team, even though the basis of our team is very similar to where we were last year. Only improved a couple of players, but he's reinvented the team. You know, and
he's staying for Foden, isn't it? I think he just saw what Foden's coming up now. His project, isn't it? So he's like
unbelievable. This season he's been phenomenal. And you'd think, you know, what are England going to do at Euros this summer when you've got players like Jack Grealish, Foden, Mason Mount, all these guys have been, and these you've got to incorporate these guys into what's ready. They're like Sancho and Greenwood and Rashford. There's a lot of good players England have got, and Foden's been fantastic. You got to say,
guys. Before we wrap up, let's go around. Faisal, what's your top 4 for this season?
City, United, Liverpool, Chelsea.
Rob,
I'll go for City. I still think we overtake United. I think they've still got their blip to come. So I would say City by a long shot. I think they'll win it by double points. Liverpool, United, then Spurs.
Attica?
Yeah, I think Liverpool will still finish top four. So City, I say Liverpool probably still just about favourites for second, but I think United will finish in the top four. So it's between Liverpool and United for second, and I'm hoping Spurs can finish there, but I think Leicester might just pivot this year.
Hacks, what about you, mate?
I think City for the league and Liverpool, I think they'll edge Man United to second. And Man United will be... I'm honest, no, they got blips in them. Honestly, they got blips in them. They got tough games. You know what?
They're struggling against West Ham now in the FA Cup. They're struggling against West Ham now in the FA Cup.
Oh, what's the score?
0-0 still. 0-0 still, man.
There you go.
62 minutes.
When they get like to the quarters or the semis, that's when they start panicking. Trust me, when it comes to the bite, they can't handle the pressure.
Especially like the Everton game. The Everton game was difficult for them, wasn't it? Like,
yeah, they were 2-0
up, and then you blow like that. That's just wrong, isn't it? 2-0 up, you should be seeing that the game.
Yeah, that's it.
So what did you say? Man City,
Man City, Liverpool, United, and I think Tottenham will get fourth because you know what it is? I see
make Attica happy, man.
No, but you know what it is? Leicester, like they play good, and then the next game they suddenly lose out of nowhere. Like, suddenly off the scoreline, they've lost, and I'm like, wow. Like they played amazing last week, and then this week they just lost.
Yeah. Look at Liverpool's next game is as well. Leicester
in the morning,
and the King Power as well.
Attica, so what do you think of your team, mate? Like you got Harry Kane back now, and looking good, man. You beat West Brom, didn't you? So let's help out Attica here, guys.
For years I've tried to say that Spurs are not a one-man team, and they're not a one-man team. Yeah. But you see how much of the play revolves around Harry Kane, and I don't think that's necessarily down to the rest of the players being bad. It is he is a brilliant player. He is an absolute, and he has developed his game. He's changed his game completely from the player he was 3-4 years ago. But I think if Spurs can, keep him fit, it makes such a big difference to the rest of the team. It does. It's almost like the Van Dijk effect.
It's weird. I thought he'll be out for a while, Attica. I didn't think like after 2 games he'd be back. You know what I mean? It was both ankles, wasn't it? Like, and there's one dodgy one he's got.
Previously, it was ligament damage, wasn't it, in the ankles? So, and he's damaged both ankles before, and I think that was the worry. They just thought
he needs to stop kicking the ball so hard now. I think that's what it is.
But you know what? If he goes in for every single challenge, though, he's not one of those strikers that he'll pull out.
Rooney type, isn't it? Rooney type.
He is.
That's what it is.
He's a part.
So he wants it. He wants to.
No, he does
harsh.
He draws a lot of fouls, man.
He does, but that's a striker's job to take the pressure off the midfield and defend and win a free kick.
But that's the thing. Sometimes he gets injured because of that.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, it's because of that. He's just focused on scoring goals like before when he was just banging in goals every day.
Yeah. Like, he's lost a lot. He's lost a lot of the pace though. He's lost a lot of the pace where he can play off the last defender. So
he's got more heavier now. He's gone more stronger.
Yeah, he is.
That's why.
He's let Son do the pacey stuff, isn't it? Son's like a little kid, isn't it? He's like, my best mate got injured. I can't play football anymore. And as soon as he comes back, he's like,
he wakes up. It's weird. Yeah, it's weird, man. Yeah, but listen, like it's been a good chat, guys. Honestly. There's one thing I wanted to ask you guys as well. There's a lot of threats going on towards the referee Mark Dean. I don't know if you guys seen it. Like death threats to him. Death threats to him and his family. What do you got? What's your thoughts like? It's, people don't get out no more. Basically, everything's in social media. And you guys, we discussed racism the previous stream as well. But what do you guys think? Like, why are people attacking the referees? I've said the issue with the football game is at the moment with the referees is they don't come out after the game and speak. They need to start speaking after the game why they made those decisions in the game. The players have to come out, even they have to speak to about how many countries after the game, like 4 or 5 or 6 or 7, 8 countries. But why don't the referees come out and say what they're given in the games? I mean, like Mike Dean has made 2 terrible, I think 2 red cards, wasn't it, or something like that along those lines, and he gets away with it. Why can't he come out after the game and start speaking? I'm not condoning this like death threats. That's wrong. You know what I mean? You get some sickos.
He deserves the abuse, but not death threats, because that guy's done. I don't know. Seriously, all the referees in the game. How bad is that guy being, and how is he still there? That's what I don't understand. But
it's not only him, though, is it, guys? It's not only him. There's a lot of referees. Martin Atkinson is awful as well. Let's just be honest. Martin Atkinson is absolutely awful.
Oh,
Michael Oliver has been awful this season. Michael Oliver has been one of the worst this season as well.
Yeah, he normally is all right.
I don't think we help him though. I don't think we help him. We complicate the rules. rather than sticking to it, there's too much for them to do, and their emotions are running high. They're only human. They have a lot to deal with. They need help. They should have
no power with this VAR stuff. So in their head,
exactly.
Like, I might make a decision, or it's going to be all like replayed my mistake and all that. So they're scared to make mistakes and stuff like that. So yeah, I get it. It's a bit hard for them. Man.
And as humans, we all have a different reality on the world and different decisions. So our right, isn't necessarily going to be their right. That's the beauty of football. It's all opinions.
It's like what Gov is saying. Like bang out of order, anyone can make a mistake. The second VAR came in everyone expects the decisions to be correct.
Everyone's a referee
for VAR. Listen, why are you getting something like this to make the game easier for referees, and why are they still making mistakes? That's what I don't understand. I've always said, if you got a VAR, I don't like when the referees go the next game and then they go VAR, they referee the next game after that. You know what I mean? Things like that shouldn't happen. There should be an expert at VAR doing VAR. That should
be a job in the title.
You know what I mean? So it makes it easier for referees because they're gonna get the actual punishment when they go to VAR. Doing VAR the next game. So why don't they just stick with their referees? They already make bad decisions as it is. Let's just get someone professional that's been trained to do VAR on a regular basis. Then makes it easier for them. You know what I mean?
It's rugby. Exactly what they do in rugby, mate. It's solved, isn't it? And they have respect for the referee. End of. Anyone that shouts and gives abuse to the referee, they should get dealt with. Like rugby. I think that they've got it sorted. And they have it on a big screen as well. Why not have it on the bloody big screen? So it shows a replay. Okay, saw it on the big screen. Boom.
Rob, there's another question I need to ask you. What's the point of a linesman, mate? Like, what do they do, guys? Like, I'm a bit confused now. What is the point of a linesman or lineswoman?
The game look good, innit, mate? Otherwise, it doesn't look
weird.
Right about them.
They don't even put up the flag, do they? Like they just okay, we'll let that go. Let the referee get on with it.
It's like free money. It's like free money, isn't it? It's like free money. It's a joke, man. It's an absolute joke. Yeah, it really irritates me. I'm thinking like you put a linesman there, and then you play the game, and then there's no use for them. You know what I mean? So what is the point? Like you're giving money away. Like they've been asking for money for the cafeteria lady. Give that money to them and get them off the damn pitch. Get a screen there or something. Yeah, it's all a joke, man. But anyway, guys, hold on a second. Yeah, thank you very much for tuning in. By the way, I said 45 minutes. We're going above for 45 minutes, so it's all good. Everybody, thank you for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Wait for our next stream. I'll put it on my Twitter page and my Instagram page, and all the other social medias we have. So please like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.